I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. It is 10:50 p.m. Nigerian time. I was reflecting on the likely outcome of Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory going to inspect a site in the Federal Capital Territory and was prevented from entering that place by security personnel led by Lieutenant Yerima. The site is said to have been owned by a retired Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral. I've been listening to all kinds of comments, and I want to make a political projection about the outcome of that altercation between Wike's team and the team posted there by the retired Chief of Naval Staff. Now, and I tag this message, this lecture, Tiinubu and Wike's political future. Number one, will Wike resign because of what happened? Definitely no. Definitely no. Number one, he needs that position to remain relevant in the Nigerian political space. Number two, President Tiinubu will not want to disgrace Wike by asking him to resign or to sack him, because a proper analysis of what happened in that place, Wike is a representative of the president in that territory. He has the right to go there, but he should not have gone there. Lieutenant Yerima was given an order to go there, but he was protecting a land that the Federal Capital Territory Minister said through his spokesman has no building permit. And the retired Chief of Naval Staff did not have authorization from the Honorable Minister Wike. I am not a fan of any person. I just state the obvious. I'm just a social scientist analyzing issues. So, all the comments by Minister for Defense, all the comments by Chidoka, all the comments by several people who don't like Wike do not matter. Wike should have been more civil, granted, but the act of defying the set down rules of the Federal Capital Territory cannot go unquestioned. I admire Lieutenant Yerima's composure, but it does not mean that being there was right in the first instance. So, what will happen? The retired Chief of Naval Staff will be allocated another land elsewhere. And whoever sold that piece of land to him will be made to refund money to him. And he will be compensated for that building by President Tinubu. It will cause a little bit of argument because somebody like Wike will say that illegality is being rewarded. You will think that Tinubu will be afraid of the retired chief of naval staff. No. If President Tinubu could retire the chief of defense staff, a retired chief of naval staff is of no consequence to President Tinubu. You will doubt what I'm saying, but listen carefully, use your brain a little bit. President Tinubu confronted President Sani Abacha many years back. Whoever is in these positions now were very junior officers then. Don't look at his physical condition now that he is older. President Tinubu is a stubborn man. He is a dogged man. He is a man who understands power play. He knows that that retired chief of naval staff will not be of any consequence or danger to him. And that's what people must realize when they are wearing uniform. Once you leave office, your relevance diminishes very greatly. So, President Tinubu will not want to humiliate his honorable minister Wike because of a retired chief of naval staff. Remember, I told you that he was in Nadeko and he confronted the military years back, not to talk of now that he has authority. He is a very strategic thinker when it comes to self-preservation and political sagacity. He's stubborn. So he will not want to disgrace Wike because it will encourage disorder and the destruction of the Abuja master plan by people who think they can wield authority and power. None of them is more powerful than President Tinubu in any sphere. And you remember, President Tinubu is surrounded by a Lagos caucus, Lagos boys, who would insist that the right thing be done. And they would tell him, Kosi Konkon, nothing shele. And so Wike will still remain as the minister of the Federal Capital Territory. I'll give you precedents. Apart from the minister of Science, Innovation, and Technology that resigned, very few people who have had issues of politics and credibility or whatever have been sacked by Tinubu, President Tinubu. Even when Wike said that his children and his wife are American citizens, the presidency did not react. So don't expect Wike to resign or to be sacked. Now, he will not dare sack Wike until after 2027 elections. You see, most people do not understand how wise these politicians are. They know how to manipulate us. They understand our thought processes. So he will not, but they think beyond us. He will not sack Wike. Now, you will ask yourself, why has Wike not resigned from the PDP? The PDP is his last card. He's keeping it as a trump card because he is one of the few persons that can revive the PDP. And if you sack Wike and he goes to the PDP with the resources at his disposal, he goes back to reconcile with Fubara in Rivers State. If you don't win Rivers State, it will be difficult for any president to win the elections. Because in Rivers State, apart from the votes from the upland, there are Mami Water votes from the riverine areas. When I mean Mami Water votes, there are votes in the riverine area. You can't go there to supervise. Imagine going to the territory of Asaridokubo or Ateketom or going to Bonny or going to Peterside and some places in the riverside. They determine what they bring out. And so Port Harcourt municipality is under the firm control of Fubara and Wike. Wike can go back and reconcile with Fubara, and the APC will lose Rivers State. And Wike can reactivate the PDP in several places, and the APC will have challenges. So the next thing is that Wike will not decamp into the APC. You might be thinking that if he decamps into the APC, that his sins will be forgiven according to the mantra, and that it will make him remain in that office. No. Even the APC, they are praying that somebody like Wike, who is an elephant that enters a China wear shop. I hope you understand what I mean by China wear shop, because some of you will just come here and comment nonsense. When you are selling glasses and things that are breakable, if an elephant enters, the destruction might be enormous. So the APC, they are praying that somebody like Wike will not join them, because if he joins them, the confusion that he will cause will be too much. So they prefer him outside, and you dare not allow him go back to PDP to reactivate PDP. So whether you like Wike or not, he is a working minister in the government of President Tiinubu. He has created visibility and noise, and that's one thing, visibility and sound, and that's one thing you need in politics. He is a good attack dog, in quotes. So Tiinubu would like to keep him till after 2027, but Wike is a smart man. The political future of Tiinubu and Wike are intertwined, and Tiinubu knows what Wike did for him to become president. Therefore, the person who will lose in all these issues is the former chief of naval staff, the vice admiral. That project will not be approved unless a lot of pressure is mounted on Wike. And Wike is a stubborn man, and the social media and every person has humiliated him. He will want to retain his pride. The heavens will fall if need be, according to him. But somehow, Tinubu's hand can suspend the heavens, and the person that is most likely to be disposable is the former chief of naval staff. That is my take. I remain Dr. Charles Apoki. Some people will just come and say they disagree with me. I expected you not to agree with me. I'm not bothered whether you agree with me or not. You have a right to disagree. But these are my projections as a political scientist. You know me as a medical doctor, but I'm also a public administrator. I have a master's degree in it. So these are my postulations. Time is an impartial judge, and I believe I'll be proven right. Dr. Charles Apoki is still my name. God bless you.